Hi there, soul family. It's Tanisha Hutchins, your local Fort Myers QHHT practitioner. Um, I help people to heal themselves, mind, body, and soul, and to become the best version of themselves through a technique called QHHT, which it stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. Today I wanted to make another quick video regarding what happens if you've gone through a QHHT session and wasn't fully able to go into a past life or go into a deep trance. So I had a client today who really, really struggled with that. And I had to just keep reassuring her and letting her know that it's perfectly fine. It is normal. And I'll give you two reasons why it's perfectly fine. Because, um, and it doesn't even happen that often. There's like a small percentage of people that may be, really left brain. So really dominated by that left brain. And even that's okay to a degree. So you just kind of need to know that it's perfectly fine if this happens to you or if this has happened to you. It, in some cases, is very normal. And sometimes you just may need a second session. Like, for instance, me. Although I'm a practitioner, I actually needed a second session because I wasn't ready to let go or relinquish that control in that first session. Because it's very new, it's a new concept to the mind, it's very foreign. Um, so here we are. So, number one, I would say, although this experience is totally awesome, right? I want you to understand that, again, this type of experience is very new to the mind, very new to the spirit. It's a new concept that you've never heard of or possibly heard of or experienced before unless you follow Dolores and the other authors that are very similar to her. So it's very new to the mind, and not only to the mind, but to the belief systems. So depending on how you were raised, where you were raised, and if you were raised in organizational religion, you might have a strong belief system that you are currently shedding um, based off of based off of your understanding of truth and your evolving spiritually, right? So sometimes for some people, you can expect for the mind to just, like, you hear a new concept, right, or a foreign concept. You can't just wholeheartedly expect for the mind to just jump right in head first, like, ooh, okay, fine, I like the way that sounds, let's jump right in. That's not how that happens. That's not how that works. We may jump in energetically, but our mind is still like, I'm not sure about that. I don't know about that. I'm not sure if I'm okay with that just yet. The mind will always be guarded by the ego or the conscious mind. And you can kind of relate that to like a guard dog. Um, and that job for that guard dog is to keep you safe, keep you protected from the unknown, um, keep you in your comfort zone. So it's perfectly fine that it's doing its job. I mean, if it wasn't doing its job, you'd probably be dead because you would be doing a lot of impulse type of actions that are very deadly, or just random stuff that can get you hurt or get you killed. So it's doing its job if you feel safe and protected on a constant basis. But to experience QHHT fully would mean that we are silencing that guard dog in a sense, or giving him a bone to chew on, to occupy it while we are diving deeper into the subconscious. So we're basically like, hey, here's a bone, go sit over there. We're not dismissing you, but we just sit right over there and chew on this bone, so that we can dive a little deeper into the actual thing that you're guarding, which is the subconscious, right? The place where our higher wisdom is found, the place where our higher knowledge is found. So it's doing its job. What can you say? Um, so for some people, this can be achieved. And right off the bat, it can be achieved in their first session. But for a small few, it may actually take another session or a third session, maybe even. That gets rarer and rarer as if I were to continue on a fourth session. That's very rare. But if and when this ever happens in my office, I always reassure the client, hey, everything is fine. Do not get frustrated because that guard dog is working perfectly, is doing its job perfectly, and if it wasn't, you would probably be dead because you would have done something stupid and died, right? So do not, be frustrated or angry with the guard dog. What we want to start doing is working with that guard dog. And so what I'll have them do is come back for a second session, free of charge, of course. But in the meantime, before they come back, I will give them some homework. And that homework may be a set of videos, visual meditations, guided meditations, just things that we can use to exercise the brain muscles. Now, exercise the mind. If you're not a meditator, if you're not a person who ever sits still, then you'll find it kind of difficult to now all of a sudden start quieting the mind or practicing mindfulness and things like that. But that's what those videos are for. They're like exercises, training exercises to train that mental muscle to now act and do according to what we want it to do. Because it's been like a wild horse, just doing whatever it wants to do, thinking in the middle of the night when you're supposed to be asleep. It's a wild horse. So now we're just training that wild horse to be more subdued when we need it to be subdued. Um, and so, number two, and then when the client comes back for their second session, they are usually much more familiar. They're familiar with the process now. They're more comfortable. Their mind is more at ease, and they're kind of finally able to now open that conscious mind and get that guard dog moved over to the side just enough to let that higher self come into the picture. So I would say number two, another reason that the client might not be able to go that deep into trance that first time is because, like I said, a small percentage of people